Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stupid O'Clock. Yeah, I think the office is running out of room. I'm going to have to straighten some stuff up. Got Stephanie with us again tonight, and Dan, and Bill with playing Garfield,
Good.
and then
This
John.
is
I told
Carlton,
you
the
were going to have to clean that
doorman.
room up. Okay.
And also, we've got, hold on a second.
That's gonna make me throw up just watching it.
And yeah, I just had
He
to point something.
he been hitting the fat tire a little bit too often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe Bachman saying hi, Sarah saying hi, or
Yeah.
H, but then she said good evening.
H. H to Sarah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm tired of this supply chain issue BS. Price,
Ditto.
what should be a maybe a $5 piece of flat iron, what they call flat iron, about yay wide, 4 foot
Hmm.
long, shouldn't be more than $4 or $5. 23.89.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an $8 sheet of plywood should not cost $50.
You
Yeah.
haven't priced plywood lately, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
He said should not. He didn't say did.
Yeah. Uh, Advantech. I actually looked because my neighbor told me about it. Advantech. That's the new flooring that they're putting in everywhere. The flooring subfloor that's tongue and groove. That I mean, almost goes in like tongue and groove all the way around. $98 a sheet.
4x8 sheets.
4 by 8 sheets.
I think I need to go find a barn to tear down.
Yeah. Uh,
I will get permission first, but
a regular 3/4 piece of OSB, 68.95.
uh-huh.
And howdy, Facebook user.
That ain't me this time.
Nope. And
That might be Barry. Barry, is that you?
well,
Hold on.
it's a little early for Mike Jimmy, so
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
he
yeah,
might not.
He's not awake yet.
yeah,
His alarm clock might not go off for another hour or so.
Where's he live again?
Uh,
Scotland.
Holland.
Oh, okay.
Holland?
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Uh,
Okay.
in the Netherlands. He's Dutch. Yes.
Right.
Let me pull this down. I'm gonna edit it.
If it was
Edit that.
Mike Wilkie.
Ah,
Oh, hey, Mike.
yeah. If you go to that thing and click on the button and say, "I give Facebook permission to show my name" or whatever, your
Yeah.
name shows up.
All right. Now it says, "Hey, new viewers, visit streamyard.com/Facebook to grant permissions to show us your name." That's a little better. That sounds a little
More professional.
Netherlands. Okay, I didn't realize he was there. I thought he was Scottish or Irish or
You're about to start one hell of a fight. You know that, don't you?
yep. Of course.
You're
Would you?
never going. You're never going to get a cold Guinness again,
Hmm.
which
Okay.
is a punishment. Believe me.
All right. So, how many of y'all heard about this? They closed down the Marine Corps base, 29 Palms. They locked it down because someone fired a weapon. Turns out it was what they call a negligent discharge.
Oh.
Somebody fired their gun some way they weren't supposed to, and now somebody's in trouble for it. Well, while this was going on, they locked down the post and they sent the criminal investigation division people through all the barracks, checking all the rooms, make sure everybody's okay, because they didn't know it was a negligent discharge at first. So they're going room to room, they're searching all the rooms. And while they're searching this one Marine's room, they hear something in his closet.
Mm-mm.
So they open up his closet, and there are 4 ducks.
Oh, yes.
I thought you were going to say girls.
No, waterfowl in his closet in his
Quack,
barracks.
quack, quack, quack.
Oh my God.
Domesticated, solid white.
Release
Why?
the Kraken, huh?
The only answer I
Release
can
the
give you,
quacken.
the only answer I can give you, Stephanie, is Marines. That's the only answer.
He likes extra large eggs for his breakfast.
And see, I
very
thought you
fresh.
was going. I thought you was going to go the Deputy Fife route there at first until you said ducks.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
and they're worried he has more hid out on the base. Is that what I understood?
I'm not sure what happened. It's just
What
they haven't
difference does it?
they have not explained it.
Was he
I mean,
preparing
okay,
a duck dinner?
I I can see not wanting them in the building. But what difference does it matter if he's got them out on the base someplace?
They poop on everything, which is unhygienic.
Yeah, but no, he
wait a
Are they
minute, wait a
doing
minute,
anything about the pigeons?
wait a minute.
Us-
This is a
Okay,
Marine
then.
base, and they're worried about people pooping on stuff. You know what
But
crayons do to
it
your
is 29
digestion?
It's 29 palms. It's like in the desert. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of water for ducks. So, but turns out. Okay, now this happened early last week. Turns out, my nephew, the Marine Joe, his name is Joe too. Seems to be a popular name these days. Anyway, my nephew Joe, the Marine, he is stationed in Virginia. But his unit is currently training at 29 Palms, big training facility.
oh boy.
Mhm.
So he's on TDY?
I guess that's what they call it. He's out there. He's an artillery mechanic, so he works on artillery pieces. And apparently, they got to go proof them or test them or something occasionally because they have to shoot them too. And it's kind of like the guys that pack the parachutes. They have to. Somebody picks one of their parachutes and makes them jump with it. Just keep them motivated. And
That would definitely motivate me.
Yeah, do it right, or
Mhm.
Well, you're not getting me out of a perfectly good airplane anyway. So.
hey, I ain't leaving a perfectly good planet. It's a little
anyway,
warm, but you know.
I was talking with him on Facebook, and I sent him that as a joke, and he says, "Yeah, I'm out at 29 Palms right now." It says that's all anybody out here is talking about. Yes. And I'm
Bless his
like,
heart.
and this is Friday, is when I Facebook, and I'm like, "Oh, you have got to record that safety briefing for me, okay? Because every weekend Marines get a safety briefing before they go out on weekend pass or whatever. So you have got to record that safety briefing for me. I've just got to hear this." Because A, they're going to cover negligent discharges.
Yeah.
B, somebody's going to have to explain the ducks. Okay, that's just, somebody's got to get their ducks in a row. All right, that's just.
I'm just wondering if
Sorry.
somebody's going to be disappointed when they find out that animal husbandry isn't exactly what they thought it was.
Sarah Haas says,
Maybe.
did they capture the ducks? They didn't have to. They were in cages or
They were in a closet.
a closet.
Yeah, it's.
And Dan, to answer your question, maybe he was Mormon.
Ah, yes. Got to have an entire flock.
On that note, I got to go get my glasses. I will be right back.
All right.
And let's see, I guess I can do this because I don't know anybody that owns it.
What?
Hang on a minute, I'll show you.
Oh, the picture?
Well, a video actually. I think we'll be all right with this one. Let me see if I can.
Get rid of the commercial.
Yeah, well.
The new Ford Duck.
Oh.
Oh, it's a pickup duck.
that a turtle in there with them?
I did not see a turtle.
There was something in there with them. It might have just been a watering dish, but there was something else in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be a turtle.
Well, whoever the boy is, he obviously loves nature.
Yeah, let's not run it again, John. There was a damn turtle in there with the ducks.
I believe
Hey,
in the desert they call that a tortoise.
Was it a Teenage Mutant Ninja tortoise?
But did you see the big bag of duck food? He had a 50-pound bag of duck food sitting there.
Outside.
He better.
Where do you get duck food?
Tractor Supply.
Yeah,
Tractor Supply, Rural King,
If
any
you
farm store.
If you can't find it at Tractor Supply, you're gonna have to go overseas to get it.
Well, I've been to a Tractor Supply. I don't remember ever seeing duck food.
Oh yeah,
Did you look?
they
for
sell
it?
the ducks too.
No, I got to admit I wasn't looking for duck food.
Mm-hmm.
So
The domestic animal food is in the back by
Okay.
the restrooms, usually.
Okay, Chris.
Hey, okay.
And, yeah, Sarah Heisers is correct. They eat all the time.
Yes.
it looked awfully clean in there.
Well, that was just for the filming.
Yeah.
No. He probably learned his lessons very well about keeping a very clean barracks. So,
It was early in the morning. So.
I used to live in a trailer park that had someone owned ducks, but nobody could figure out which trailer the people that owned them actually lived in, and there was a little bit of a problem with someone came along to repair an air conditioning unit, and the mobile home that the air conditioning unit was attached to basically had been used for laying duck eggs for at least 2 years, and none of those eggs had ever hatched or been picked up.
Oh,
Yeah, there. Shall we say there was a bit of a stink raised?
yeah.
Now the thing is, I just want to find out whatever his sergeant said when he was told about the ducks.
I'm not even going to improvise. This is not the green room. I can't do that.
The sergeant said, "Pile!"
Oh, who has seen that video of Arlie Arming going, "Show me your war face"?
And it
And
shows
there's
the chihuahua going. It's on stupid clock, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I think he could always say he was studying amphibious warfare specialist.
I don't know. That's
Hey,
just
if there's anybody that knows anything about being amphibious, it's ducks and turtles. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And believe me, laying landmines, yeah, ducks.
Geese.
Now, he did have a big bucket of protein whey, or whey protein, however you pronounce it, that the bodybuilders used to bulk up in the closet with him. So I do wonder if he was eating duck eggs. But like y'all said, there was a turtle too. So I guess he was starting his own zoo.
No,
was this Marines?
Get a strike from animal rights activists. So
It
no.
was a Marine base. It could have been a prostitution ring.
Was this Marines named Radar O'Reilly?
I'm sorry, yes, I agree with Stephanie. Wasn't even ready for that one. You need to warn me when you're ready, when you're going to drop one of those.
I'll try. But that does ruin the timing, Joe, just so you know.
Yeah,
Either keep the drum roll ready or don't complain about it.
really.
Well, there is a private chat that you can alert me.
Then it ruins the joke for you and everybody on private chat. You know.
Like
Well,
we've
I
got
could
time
see
to look at that.
Well,
if he had
So what, Stephanie?
if he had whey protein in there, he may have been making protein shakes with the eggs.
And duck eggs would actually make a better protein shake than a chicken egg.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was just
I
going
mean-
to say, act like we hadn't heard John's joke. John, say it again,
No,
and then Joe Dog do the.
Ooh,
You got
no.
to do the cool one with the kid.
Oh, with the kid falling over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Donna. Save us.
okay. And for those of you who, well, let me see if I can get this a little bit more accurate here.
Oh no, please.
29 Palms is about 50 miles east of Los Angeles. It's
Oh,
in the
okay.
Joshua Tree National Park area.
Okay.
Yes.
And let me see. Trying to.
It
There's
is
something-
flat
that's
out
what-
in the desert,
It's way out in the desert.
which is kind of funny to stick a bunch of Marines out in the desert.
You know,
Really?
most of their all their logistic bases are out in the desert too, but that's so the stuff won't rot. You know.
Oh. You know the old saying that mud follows Marines? Maybe they're hoping that putting Marines out there will make it rain. I didn't think I'd earned that one.
Oh,
I want the horse.
okay.
Then Porky Pig.
Now imagine playing polo with that horse being that single-minded. You'd fall off before you were able to get the mallet connected to the little ball on the ground.
Oh yeah, fall off before I could get to the ball.
No, could you imagine having your horse trained to, sort of hide it under a blanket or a leg?
Go
and the
pull it
horse-
out from under the saddle.
Horse pull it out and just start running around the polo field doing that?
I want to see the holster that the horse puts it back in for the next one.
Everybody would be watching that horse and rider, and then they wouldn't be getting to the ball.
No,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
could you imagine two polo teams all of a sudden charging and one of the horses comes in shaking that? What the?
Wait a minute, they just scored.
Wouldn't be quite that thick. Wouldn't be quite that quick. Polo fields are big. You can fit about 10 football fields inside a polo field.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
You're big.
I was thinking they were about, twice as size of a football field, but okay.
Well, you think how fast they gallop. It
Mhm.
has to be that much larger. You
Mm.
get from one end of the football field to the other end before you'd know it, and that could cause a lot of injuries. How many's on a polo team anyway? I'm not that familiar with.
4.
Four on each side.
4 on each side, and there are 6 chuckers.
Okay.
So a chucker is kind of like an inning.
Hmm.
So, and you can have more on a team, but you can only have 4 on a field at a time.
Okay.
But like, I only had
Like
a couple
football.
of horses. Yeah, and I only had a couple of horses, and you cannot play horses consecutive chuckers because it wears them too much.
Yeah.
So if you got a couple people like me who've only got a couple horses, you can alternate the players also. So like maybe I play the first and second chucker on my 2 horses, and then somebody else plays the third and fourth chucker on their 2 horses, and then I'm back in for maybe the 5th chucker, and they finish off the 6th chucker. That kind of thing.
Okay, stupid question, but then again, what show are we on? What about water polo? Is that
Don't know
very
anything about water polo.
You don't use horses in
No.
water polo. I know
Oh,
that.
come on!
Nope.
However,
You're just ruining it.
there is such a thing as elephant polo.
Yes, I can
Well,
see
you
that
can-
because they have the built-in snorkel. So
Well, you could train the elephant to fill up with the water, and then when the other guy's coming after you, he just goes and shoots him with the water.
As
There's
opposed
only-
to snark.
Snort.
there's
Yeah.
only so much water an elephant can hold at one time in that particular proboscis.
How
Wow,
many of y'all caught my reference?
Tim Conway.
Marky.
Snark.
Snort.
To Siamese elephants joined at the trunk. Snark.
Monkeys dancing the merengue.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's my favorite thing of Tim
I think we
Conway.
abandoned the rails just about 30 seconds ago.
And the funny, there's a backstory. Yeah, there's another. Also, did you know? Is Tim Conway had told the makeup artist, "Get ready, because I'm going to pull a new one on them on the second take." Well, the makeup artist just so happened to be Vicki Lawrence's husband,
Oh dear.
and he told Vicki, "Just be ready for him. Let him have it." Okay, and that's where. Are you sure that little asshole's through?
Yeah.
That's where
Well,
that.
what cracks me up is watching the others react to him, because like that's Dick Van Dyke is in that one, and he's just kind of like,
He,
and finally he just falls off on the floor.
When
Yep.
Vicki said that, it's over.
Yes, everybody lost it then.
And Tim Conway was like, "Damn."
I had the opportunity to see Tim Conway perform live. He and Harvey Korman
Yeah.
did a production of The Odd Couple live on stage, and they toured and they came through Huntsville, and I got to watch it. And relatively early on in the play, shortly after Felix moves in with Oscar invites a couple of girls over, and Felix gets in the kitchen and makes a big fancy meal. And so he comes out with a ladle in hand just as a knock sounds at the door. And so we spend the next 5 or 10 minutes, there's no lines, with Tim Conway, who is Felix, never putting down the ladle and trying to shrug into his sport coat, and getting that ladle caught in the sleeve of and it just goes on and on. And the longer it goes, the funnier it got. And you can see Harvey Korman is standing up. What am I supposed to do now? There's no lines I can give. I can't answer the door because he's got to get into his jacket first. And it just went on, and we just rolled in the floor. I mean, it was just.
I didn't even see it, and I'm in hysterics.
Well,
Yeah, because I mean, he gets the arm all up, and it's twisted, and he's in the sleeve, and you've got the bowl, the ladle is sticking out the end of the sleeve, and
Oh,
Carol Burnett said Tim Conway's goal in life was to break up Harvey Korman.
oh
Yes.
yeah. I can imagine that he succeeded on numerous occasions.
Oh, there was a time when Harvey Korman won an Emmy. and Tim Conway walked up on stage with him.
This is not going to end well.
And it's like, and he just sort of stood there. And
And
everybody,
Harvey's waiting for the other shoe to drop.
yeah.
Oh Lord.
And as funny as Tim Conway was on McHale's Navy, he was a little bit more reserved back in those days. I don't know if he was purposely held back or if he just hadn't developed that rampant style of humor that he's known for.
Well,
Probably the director was holding him in check because it was
Yeah.
an ensemble thing and not a tight group like a quartet.
and it was a scripted thing, and it had to go off in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And so-
Carol Burnett was scripted too. He just never went by it.
Well, but yes and no, because at that point everybody knew that Tim was going to pull something, and so they left room in the skit script for that to happen.
Making
I
up your Tim Conway is going to go ape. Can't use that word.
And if
But
you haven't noticed, Tim Conway has been my hero.
Well, he was hilariously funny. I mean, and he seemed like he was a nice guy,
Oh yeah,
just with a wacky sense of humor.
the little back and forth between him and Joe Flynn on McHale's Navy is what really made that show, when he would get Joe Flynn all flustered and then screaming and hollering at him and everything. And that as much as everybody else was, Ernest Borgnine and trying to think of the guy who played the one that was always the magician. I can't think of his name right now, but he was one of the others on McHale's PT boat.
well, I can tell you, there were probably bloopers to where the director yells "cut," and Tim just keeps going. But back then, they didn't save bloopers. Could you?
No, well, they taped over everything. That's why there's so much of Johnny Carson that's we'll never see again if you didn't see it live, especially from the 60s. Carl Valentine, thank you, sir.
Well, Carl came up with it too.
Okay, I didn't see his. I'm wearing different glasses tonight. I'm not used to them.
Yeah, your glasses are filtering Carl out.
Maybe Carl's filtering himself out. I don't know.
No, we can see him. You just can't.
He's busy writing his list for his Sunday morning covert grocery shopping trip. Seeing what Donna wants that is not currently available, which leads us back to Joe Dog's initial topic of supply chain problems.
And Stephanie, I have that problem too. Every time I sit in the chair, the towel
It migrates.
It migrates, yes, indeed. And Lindsay has a bad habit of covering up the seat and leaving this little bitty fringe hanging over the back. And I go, first time I sit down, that's going to be right in the small of my back, and I'm going to have to stand up and put the thing back where it's supposed to be. But it's a whole lot better than trying to sew a cover that would get ripped in 15 minutes as soon as I sit down. Oh, Lord.
Carl says he finally recovered from last night about lunchtime.
I do offer my humblest apologies.
What? Did I miss something?
Apparently I was on form last night.
Well, I was in there for part of it.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I was in there for all of it. So.
Donna had lost it at one point, and Carl had to go in the other room, leave camera, and go in there and apply CPR to Donna
Yeah.
because she just basically was laughing so hard she forgot how to breathe.
I don't mind when women laugh as long as they're not pointing. Uh,
Especially when there are police involved.
not going to touch that line, Bill. Ah,
Let me start getting these geared up. Okay, Dan, you can say whatever you want to say.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Well, I'm ready for it now. I just want to see what all the comments. You and John are going to have to handle the comment posting. I'm going to have to stay over here on the production side.
Oh,
Uh,
Joe, I excuse me as I yodel. I watched the Yellowstone video that you gave me, and it was okay. I don't necessarily agree with her on every point, and I think she was kind of understating some stuff. It was pretty obvious to me that her whole point was to calm people's fears about the possibility. But in the main, from a scientific standpoint, um, I didn't hear her say anything that
Wrong.
wasn't in my book. Yeah, there wasn't anything wrong about it, except that they are discovering that those magma chambers can fill up a lot faster than they had previously thought.
mm,
Everybody thought, oh, it'll be centuries to millennia, and we'll just sit there and watch it gradually build. Well, no, now they know that it can, within 1 to 2 decades, it can fill. So, and if you think about how big the magma plume is, you can see why.
yeah.
That sucker's huge.
So what does
Mhm.
it do?
So
It
if,
fills
if
up sometimes and then sort of drains back down, or
No, you'll get a surge of magma rising up, and it'll kind of percolate into the pores in the magma chamber. And once it reaches at least 50% full, from that point on, anytime thereafter, you can have an eruption. And so it vents. And when it went in the case of a super volcano, you never have a mountain. You always have a caldera, because
yeah,
what happens is the magma chamber blows, and then the roof collapses into the chamber.
Mhm. Now,
Um,
what's the size of this plume compared to, say, the one that created the Hawaiian Islands?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I cannot remember. Um, Hang on a minute.
well, maybe you can answer this while you're looking that up.
Okay.
You said that it was originally thought that it was centuries for those chambers to fill up. Now they're saying decades. That's a big difference. Are they explaining the miscalculation in any particular way? I mean, because of it being that much of a difference.
Um,
Uh,
well, there's just that much, the potential for that much uh, magma inside a plume that big.
and
Um,
evi-
I,
Evidently, they didn't know just how big the plume was earlier when they made the
Well,
first.
yeah.
and the reason why I'm asking is that if they have a reason how they miscalculated that,
Well,
would
I
they
mean,
be
you're
would
looking
they
at
be
Better,
something.
miscalculating it now?
you
You're
got better
looking.
detection methods now.
You're looking at something that at the very top of the plume is 50 miles down, and it
Mhm.
goes all the way down to the lower mantle. Um, It's about 400 miles across.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, in diameter. They originally thought it was about maybe 50 to 100 miles across.
Mm. Yeah,
Now,
it due to the way that the technology has progressed. It's much more not easy. It's much more accurate now than it used to be.
Yes.
well,
And
They've developed some techniques of using seismic data to create, uh, they call it tomography, and they're using it to create 3-dimensional models now.
now I remember hearing, oh, it was 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, that they were talking about the whole caldera rose like a couple feet, but because it was over such a big area, nobody could really see.
Right. That's why there you may remember a while back there was some concern about Yellowstone Lake spilling out of its banks on the, I think it was the southern side, and it was
oh,
because of that uplift.
the
Yeah,
yeah, the dome kept coming up. Yeah, that
but
would do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but when your dome's 400 miles wide, a foot won't make much difference. You can't
Right.
see it.
Well, but the dome is not
Hello,
400
Keisha.
miles wide. The caldera. Let's see. I'm trying to find the size of the caldera. Um, Come on, come on. Tell me.
Come to mama,
Yeah,
little data.
come to mama. Yeah. Um, Give it.
Good night, Mr. Bachman.
Good night, Joe.
Our regards to Mr. Turner.
The current caldera is 30 miles, 45 miles.
Oh, okay.
The plume is 400 miles across, 10 times bigger.
Yep. And that's quite a funnel effect there.
Yeah. So, and that's how it can fill up that fast. Because
Yeah.
if you get that plume full of rising magma, I mean uh, magma chamber.
Which is the name of my AC/DC cover band.
What now? What did I miss?
Magma Magma Chamber is the name of my AC/DC cover band.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Dan. I know you tried.
Yeah, well,
Well,
timing is everything.
I've got one part of my brain is on the discussion in the show, and the other part of my brain is trying to find this stuff. Okay, so there's two magma chambers. One is about 55 miles by 25 miles, and the other uh, is nearly 5 times bigger.
Okay, so the smaller one is the upper and the larger one is the lower?
Yes.
Okay.
So um,
Two
the
funnels.
the 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 upper chamber is slightly larger than the caldera. The lower chamber is about 5 times that size, roughly.
Hmm.
So,
It,
but then when you compare that to a 400-mile wide plume, it's
mhm.
not going to take long to fill up.
It'd be nice to see those plotted out on a map.
Uh,
I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but if they have,
Done what?
plotted out the 400-mile plume versus the uh, the large lower chamber versus the smaller upper chamber, just to see where
Well,
the edges would be on a
the
surface map.
they have. Um, I may have to do this the hard way. Hang on.
Uh, One day you'll have to use the share screen thing.
I
Yeah.
know how.
Hey, it's a little
I'll work with you
convoluted.
on that.
It's
Okay.
a little convoluted, but it's worth it. It takes going. Oh, here's the thing I want to share. Here's share. Here's the thing I want to share. Where's the share button? You know,
I don't have a
Okay.
share button. I have a Sunny button though.
Bye, Dan.
Good night, everybody.
Bill.
I was not going to say a thing. Believe me.
You were
I-
biting your tongue too. I know that.
This isn't the green room. Highly recommended by Greg Allman. No.
And Gene Simmons.
Copy.
Oh, share and share
See
alike.
if this will work.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. In the Stupid O'Clock Messenger group, I just posted an image that comes that is a reconstruction of the shallow chamber. If somebody can throw that up.
Oh,
You got it,
it's
John?
it's
I'm on
offset
it.
too.
All right.
Oh, that continental drift. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
All right, now, yeah, blow it up because if you'll look on the top of the cube and on the bottom of the cube, they have the park outlined. Those are the three calderas, that erupted. Now the orange thing, as opposed to the red thing, is kind of the top of the lower chamber. Now,
Okay.
what that looks like, let me post the other image here. Copy.
Yeah.
Where do you see? Oh, never mind. I see it.
Oop. We'll try that again.
Okay.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. I don't know, Mr. No.
That trick never works.
Got to get it in
I
a hat.
Ruffle up my sleeves. Presto! Ah, wrong hat.
All right. Now, if you look at the top and the bottom of the cube, once again, you can see the outline of the park and the caldera. All right.
Ooh, yeah.
This is the
That's
larger magma chamber, and you can see that extension off to the left and down goes down to the plume.
okay.
Now, what's this big thing that parallels the surface and runs off, also sort of kind of to the left? That's the track that it's been following as the North American plate moved over the hot spot.
Yep.
Is it rising still as it's moving to the left? Or I
What
think
do
you
you
said left.
Yes.
What
yes.
do you mean rising?
I think the answer is yes, it is, because off to the left is where it used to be, and off to the right is where it is.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Correct.
was going left. It's going right, though.
It's
It's
going
here,
right.
and the
Okay.
ground is moving around. The ground is moving away from it.
Yeah, the top of the ground is moving. Oh, and everything is still connected. So, and one day that will be in downtown Los Angeles, which will That's a topic for another time.
And this map shows the progress of the hotspot as the North American plate moved over it.
Punch buttons.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. It really does. So, yeah. Ooh, used to be under Mount Shasta long time ago? A long
Um,
time ago.
no, not quite. It's Mount Shasta. See the little red triangle.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mount Shasta.
Yeah, I know. I was just going, yeah, everything's drifted to the left
Mm-hmm. So the
Good night,
oldest
Donna.
ones are there.
or
Good
to
night,
the
Donna.
right rather. And
Yeah.
what is on the left used to be over
So
top, but
so the here's the hot spot, and the plate is drifting over it.
Mm.
Now, what do you notice that there really aren't any of in that track?
Mountains.
Bingo.
Yeah.
they're getting melted from the underside.
Well, they kind of get blown away.
Oh, okay. Well, that works
Now,
too.
the big blob, the big dark blob up across eastern Washington and northeastern Oregon, that is also a kind of a supervolcano eruption, but it is a relatively non-violent one called a trap eruption. There is some speculation that it may be associated with the Yellowstone hotspot.
So it's kind of let me see if I can say this without sounding stupid. It could be that there is uh, what people could think of as a vent going off in that direction that's also getting uh,
Well, I
the
think the
surface of
answer
the
there is
ground is also
was
getting, yeah. So
yes.
it's
There
yeah,
may have been, yes.
may have
That's a
been. Okay.
consideration. Yes. The that particular let's see, that particular trap eruption, the Columbia River basalt formation, um, it was kind of a one shot. Um, a trap eruption is basically when long, instead of erupting in one place, long fissures form, kind of like happened recently out in Hawaii. Only
Hmm.
you get an entire field of them, and they go on for tens to hundreds of miles, and they ooze lava. And they can, some of them are just absolutely huge. You probably have heard of the Deccan traps,
Hmm.
which occurred at roughly the same time, but intermediate with the KT boundary over in what is now India. There's also
Yes.
the Siberian traps. There's a number of different trap eruption areas um, around the world. But unlike something like Yellowstone, they are not explosively eruptive. So
So they're kind of oozing slowly
yeah,
rather than blowing
yeah.
up.
Well, you can get some fountain stuff going like we saw over in Hawaii, but or like we see in Iceland,
Hmm.
but just much bigger with parallel fissures opening up for hundreds of miles, and the whole thing is just oozing and blurping and bubbling, and but as it does that as opposed to going boom.
Sounds like one of my more successful spaghetti sauce recipes.
Well, the difference is in the chemistry of the magma involved. If you have very runny lava, such as you find in Hawaii and in Iceland, then it does not hold the gases. It will not hold the pressure. If you have very thick viscous lava, then the pressure will build up and build up and build up until finally everything goes kaboom.
The simile still stands. Instead of being all tomato paste, it's that's after you actually put the browned beef and sausage in the tomato sauce
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
and started stirring in the onions and whatnot, which
sort of like engine oil. If you don't change your engine oil, the thicker and thicker it gets to the point that it's a sludge. And the more sludge you get, eventually the motor blows.
yeah.
mhm. That's a very good analogy.
The lava fountains like we saw in the Hawaiian eruption, I liken that to what happens when you open a can of soda and pour it into a glass. You get the fizzies. Well, that's the fizzies.
Mm.
Okay, as opposed to what happens when you take the soda bottle and shake it before you open it.
That's the eruption.
That's the kaboom. Yeah.
There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Hmm.
Oh my!
That's like shaking the champagne bottle.
Yes.
Mm.
But the truth of the matter is, it is a different chemistry.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of an analogy there with the soda bottle.
Hey, it works. People
yeah.
will understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's hope that nobody takes a couple of freight train loads of Mentos and dumps it in Yellowstone, and we'll be all right.
Well, it's the trick is once the pressure starts building, as long as the roof doesn't crack, you're okay.
Yeah.
It's when it's as soon as it cracks, then suddenly the dissolved gas in the magma wants to escape.
Have you ever used a pressure cooker? Same
Yeah,
principle.
Or
yes,
Instapot.
No. We're talking old school here.
Everybody was like, "Well, why don't you just use a nuke or drill down to it or
Because you
do
don't want to release that pressure all at once.
No,
Yeah,
you want to contain it.
yeah,
Really.
and
Weld something across it. Don't let it have a escape valve. Well, no, kind of an escape valve might be nice, but it's got to be a tiny one.
well, it's
Well, I
got.
think everybody is so used to how Superman took care of the earthquake problem in the 1978 Superman movie, and they think the same will apply to this, and it's
No.
the opposite.
Reality
That was
reality is far different from fiction.
Oh yeah, that one was really kind of corny.
Yeah,
Mhm.
actually,
I loved that movie, but it was corny.
Actually, they need to fire up every concrete plant in the country and start sending truckloads to Yellowstone and start capping it.
Yeah. This would be Chernobyl times 1,000, or probably that's an underestimate.
Well-
Maybe 100,000 or a million.
We'll
Well-
turn it into Yellowstone Skate Park. That's it.
What most people don't know. Okay, everybody's heard about Mount Vesuvius, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What
It's that
happened?
Italian restaurant down on
One day it went boom.
Yeah, and it buried Herculaneum and Pompeii and several
Mhm.
other small villages in the area. What
What
most
people
don't.
ignore is it went boom several times before that, and people didn't learn not to live there.
Well, it's worse than that then, because Vesuvius actually sits on the rim of a supervolcano caldera, and Naples is in the middle of it.
I'm not planning a vacation to Italy anytime in the next 10,000 years, thank you.
And according to the video that Joe sent me to watch, the caldera is known as Campiflagre, and the evidence indicates that Campiflagre is beginning, the magma chamber is beginning to inflate. Because they're seeing the changes in the magma chemistry.
Buy your souvenirs now, folks. However, oh no, that was a tasteless joke. I won't say it.
We'll just add some salt to it.
This would be
I think
a
there
case of assault and battery.
I think
What, Joe?
I think there was plenty of salt in it, Bill. That's why he couldn't use it.
Possibly some pepper as well.
And some Swiss guards.
So it wasn't tasteless. It was just a little on the spicy side.
No, I believe it was pretty tasteless. Believe me, I can well judge my own work. Let's just say
You okay over there, John?
when I
good
self-edit,
stuff.
it's for a good reason.
Strange enough, I was looking at Naples, Italy.
Okay.
Going to be beachfront property there real soon.
Well, it is now.
Yeah, the caldera actually extends off the coast into
The meta-subterranean.
yeah.
Used to be, yeah, Chris, used to be.
There's Vesuvius.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Pompeii.
Mm-hmm.
There's where Herculaneum used to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's Naples. So,
Uh-huh.
well, you can see how big that darn volcano is. So
Yeah,
there's
but
the
that's
caldera.
just what's there now.
That you can almost see the outline of a caldera there.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it goes much further offshore than that.
Yeah, that's just the inner rim there. It would go way on out there.
The bay is part of the caldera.
Gulf of
Mhm.
Naples.
Mm-hmm.
Naples will be known for their hot springs soon enough.
If they're not already.
They already have them, and they also have fumaroles, and they're opening up in parts of the city.
Which is not going to help the traffic one bit. Ooh, it's a nice swimming pool.
Well, don't they travel everywhere in gondolas anyway?
No,
No, that's-
That's well, if they had gondolas, they better be attached to zeppelins because they're going to need them.
Just as long as it's not made of lead.
What was that book title? Let me see if I can. Oh, this is going
This one is going to show up.
Oh, yeah, that's rather dramatic.
And you can see the secondary craters.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. And that has obviously... you could actually take that as a time-lapse photograph and see where it used to be before that particular plate drifted a little bit, too.
Just about, yeah.
That's rather dramatic there.
Did John, were you able to get that up on there?
I'm working on it as we speak.
Okay.
Wrong mouse.
So this would be the Bay of Naples.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Vesuvius.
Mm-hmm.
And
So now you can see all these different roughly circular features are calderas from previous eruptions.
So you're telling me that Guido's Linguini shop over here is actually a volcano.
Pretty much.
Another term for it is the Phlegraean fields. So, but yes, this is a super volcano, and yes, it is under Naples. So,
Cool.
And,
Oh, okay.
their mountain is, well, we call it a mountain. If you head, I guess it would be sort of southwest on Central Avenue here in Chattanooga, you can look off towards the mountain, and it has the shape and everything of what you picture as a volcano.
hmm
But it's if you
but it's
do,
not.
but it's not.
Yeah, it's everybody thinks it's a volcano, and the number of times people have come to me and said, "Well, you know that volcano over, in the mountains over here." No, that's not how the Appalachians were formed.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, if you, Stephanie, if you drive down Central Avenue and see it, you'll go, "Holy
Well, when I'm over there for
Liberty!"
LibertyCon, you can take me out and show me because
All right.
I have not seen it. I don't know what they're talking about.
A
I've heard
lot of
all about it, but I haven't seen it.
a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize how old the Appalachians are.
And this is Appalachians 2.0 that we've got now.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it
Appalachians
was. Go ahead.
Appalachians 1.0 got worn down flat, and then
Mm-hmm.
there was another orogeny.
Yep.
Yes, Bill.
Oh no, I was just going to make a snarky comment. So
Oh, okay.
I was going to say Paul Bunyan and Babe, the Blue Ox, playing fetch. That's how the Appalachian Mountains were formed.
Well, the Appalachians are principally a folding mountain chain. There are fault lines in there,
Mm-hmm.
but the Rockies are a fault block chain. We've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah.
And then you've got fault blocks, and then you've got folds, and then you've got the Cascade Range, which is a volcanic range, which is produced by the Pacific Plate subducting under the North American Plate, melting, and the melt filtering up through the cracks. Oh, I thought he was going to say something, and he was just going,
Who?
Dan.
Dan, no, he's
And then he went away.
Oh, okay.
And I thought he was about to make a point, but no.
I think it might be dealing with something with Chris by the looks of his last comment.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
That's no. Okay. Let's see.
Chris, are you not picking us up?
I can hear Stephanie and Bill fine.
Yeah, I can hear Bill and John, and Joe's not talking.
I'm not saying anything. We got sound.
Oh,
Reboot.
Mhm.
Refresh. Of course,
of course,
if
if he can't hear us, he doesn't
Yeah.
have to.
Oh, I'll take care of that the old-fashioned way here.
Oh, there you go. Joe's got it. Refresh. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get Street View up. There we go.
Street view of what?
Down on Central Avenue.
What are we looking at?
Come on, show me. It, it's not rolling into Street View.
Street view of what, Joe?
Central Avenue, where you can see the faux volcano.
Yeah, sorry about that. Biological necessity. Yeah, when I do this and vanish, you pretty much don't want the microphone to be on. So, mm, yeah.
I'm trying to remember where you're talking about, Joe.
The bit that looks like a volcano but ain't.
Okay,
it-
I got it now.
Okay.
Just gonna take me a minute to get there. I'm driving down Central Avenue right now.
Which is a good trick because you're taking the house with you.
Just like in that movie.
Somehow,
Wide load.
He's got all those balloons attached to the top of his house.
I love
That
that.
only
movie.
works with lawn chairs.
They actually, ABC showed that on TV either last Sunday or the Sunday before. And,
Of course, I missed it.
and yes, I cried again.
Yeah.
It just has that effect on me every time I watch it.
Hey, that's how you know you're human.
Mhm.
Things like that evoke emotional responses. Oh,
Well, it's like how Bill Murray said in Stripes, "Who didn't cry when Old Yeller died in the end? Raise your hand. Come on, I know you did." And I cried when Sounder got shot, and we can just go on and on.
I cried when Captain Kangaroo got canceled.
okay.
And I was 50.
I cried when Bambi died, and you would say, "Wait a minute, Bambi didn't die. Bambi's father died." And I said, "No, Bambi died in the movie Bambi versus Godzilla." And you hear the long, endless note from A Day in the Life.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this up, but Street View. You know how when you try to take a picture of the moon, you got this big moon in the sky, and you take a picture of it, and it's about that big.
Mhm.
That's sort of what this is. But I can't get it.
Oh, okay. Back behind the blue building.
Yeah,
That's
No.
Lookout Mountain.
no, that's if you look left of Lookout Mountain, you can't really see it with this.
Yeah.
You mean behind the pine tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me try something else.
Turn left to Pine Tree.
Let me
If
try.
it'll let you.
Let me,
Wrong mouse. Stay.
maybe.
Well,
that-
I got an idea. Why can't we just get in the running car?
Yeah.
Be a real short film if you escape the serial killer.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
disgust on his face is what makes it so funny.
What? Oh, the
The commercial.
Like
The girl that says that, yeah.
he's like, no, it's when they,
crazy.
no, it's when they go. I'll go. No, let's hide behind the chainsaws. And he's like, what?
Yeah, really.
Have you never watched one of these movies before?
Okay. Hey, Joe, I'm going to
Yeah.
hijack your picture here for a minute.
All right, hijack the picture.
All right. Oh, wait, wrong button. Let's try that again. That.
So now we're going to wind up with two pictures.
Yep.
No.
John's in the white car. So he's
With-
probably got a better viewpoint.
With black curtains
Oh,
at
there we
the
go.
station.
Oh, there's Chris.
Oh, wow. Hey, Chris. Finally.
Okay, let's see here, Joe. There's Lookout Mountain over behind the two buildings there.
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
Well, it's actually you see it better on Central Avenue.
Really?
The faux volcano.
Behind the tree.
No, I guess
Oh, it
not.
looks like I can see a little steam rising up behind it.
All right, let me.
Or maybe that's just
I
I'm
don't know.
not sure. I'm not sure what hill you're talking about.
I don't know if this is how big this is gonna. It ain't gonna show up big enough.
No, no,
No. Yeah,
Blueberry Hill.
I'll just
that
have to take you.
that's a
Okay.
postage stamp on a drive-in movie screen. Let me tell you.
Well, I'm planning on coming to Liberty on the Thursday, late afternoon to evening,
Oh, so
depending on traffic.
you say okay,
Yeah, so I'll be there Friday morning.
okay. Yeah, we'll run by. Oh, I need to check see if I can set up Thursday night. Oh, well, if you're gonna be there Friday, Friday. If I can set up early Thursday, I could take you to B.
You take me where?
Bees.
Bees.
No,
Aunt
not
Bee.
bees. No, not that kind.
good grief.
Hmm.
The Lazy Susan buffet.
Oh, ooh, ooh,
Hmm.
ooh. Nom 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 nom.
Oh, we lost Chris. I guess he's heading there to get in line.
Yeah. You said bees.
There he went.
Hey, they got a Sunday morning breakfast. That's where Chris is going.
No, they don't. They don't open till church is over. They open at 11 on Sunday.
Okay.
But if they don't, now listen, they don't open till 11 on Sunday for the after church crowd. The line starts forming at 9.
Ooh,
That sounds like Aretha Frankenstein's, where you have to get in line like Thursday night at 9 o'clock to be able to get there for Saturday morning breakfast at 11.
No, you don't go to. If you go to Aretha's, you go real early or real late.
You have to eat breakfast before you go there to eat breakfast.
Mm. And pack a lunch.
So I've heard all of you guys talk about bees for the last
Yeah.
6, 8 months and how popular and how great it is and everything.
I just
My
posted
question-
it to Stupid O'Clock.
Huh?
I just posted bees to Stupid O'Clock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
What's your
do they only have that one restaurant or is there
That's-
another one?
That's it.
That's it. The one.
And if they're
the
that
only.
good, then why not open another one, or will that lead to their demise?
They don't want to be a chain, as far as I understand. They want
Well, you can-
one location.
It's a mom and pop. The guy taking the money at the register, B was his great grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, that's not.
I-
He don't want to lose control of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I heard that story from
For good reason.
You don't
yeah.
believe it?
someone.
Try and-
No,
try
I
and
was
see
going to
what
say
they're
from
doing.
someone who's no longer here now. But anyway, no, we have a restaurant over here named Rich's Family Restaurant, which is locally owned by a very nice Armenian family, and they actually have 3 locations. But you can't. Well, I say it's a chain, but it's.
It's a short chain.
Well, one's in Danville, one's in South Danville, and the other one's in Ogden, Illinois, which is like halfway between Danville and Champaign. But it's all the same menu and everything, and of course, it's different members of the family are working at the different locations to, I guess, kind of ensure the same quality as the original one, which would have been on Georgetown Road, was their first one, I believe.
I just
So-
posted a video from Tennessee Crossroads about bees. Welcome back, Chris.
Try this again. Dadgum, it's been a
What,
long
what'd you
day.
do? Push the wrong button?
No, it just didn't want to load, so I refreshed it and it kicked me off. And
Mm.
computer was trying to. I got put behind everything today because I went to go haul off garbage and my car wouldn't crank. So I got my brother come jump me off and went and drove for a little bit. And I had to go get some gas, so did it again. I'm like, well, I'll drive more, build, give a chance to the alternator to build the battery back up and all, and highway speeds, and drove for about 45 minutes, put about just under 75 miles on the car, and
Didn't do the
got
battery
home,
any good at all, huh?
cranked it back up, or tried to crank it back up, and then so he was busy doing something, and eventually I got him to come back over, and we took the battery out, and I went and got a new battery, and that was about $185 that I didn't want to have to spend.
But that was the problem then, the battery and
Yeah,
not the
yes.
alternator. Yeah. Well,
Yep.
live and learn, but I'm glad you spent good money on a good battery.
Yeah,
Considering the price you paid, I'm assuming it is.
yeah, it's got a 4-year warranty, which is about as good as they go now. I miss die-hard batteries because those things lasted about 5 or 6 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they
If
said
not
they'd
more.
only last 3, but 6 was a good average.
Yeah.
My dad could get about 8 or 9 out of his. He just,
So anyway, all my plans for today just kind of got pushed way far behind.
you're stuck in a groove.
If I buy Lindsay a new car, I'm going to pull the
Caught in a
battery I
trap.
bought out of the old one and put
Can't
it in
walk
the
out.
new car because it's a decent battery. It's just the car's a piece of junk.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it's all right. Electronically, it's suboptimal.
Well, if the computer unit, brain units go out on those things, or the hot wiring harnesses go bad, it's
No, this is the people that rebuild the alternators are still using the designated voltage regulator diodes in it, and those are
the junk.
yeah. Let's just say you could probably scrape up something better out of a cat box. And this era Buick is absolutely infamous for this particular electronic problem, and nobody's been able to solve it in 20 years, and that's pretty much because, hey, we're selling new alternators hand over fist, and there's nothing wrong with the alternators. It's the voltage regulator circuitry inside the alternators that is crap.
Well, it's sort of like the solenoid / starters on late 90s, early 2000 model Ford vehicles. Those
I
things
gotta work. I've either got a dead battery or a dead starter on
On what?
the
yellow truck?
Yeah. I mean, we tried to boost it off today, and you turn the key, and all you hear is clang.
Solenoid. Best guess. I may be wrong, but that's my best guess because I've had a little experience in this
I'm
area.
not getting any. It just
Click.
hit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's either the solenoid, the starter, or voltage regulator, alternator.
Get your meter out there and start testing.
Well, all I'm gonna say, if it's the alternator, the truck's gonna be for sale.
Sir, you interest me strangely.
Don't have any junkyards around there you can go scavenging?
I still gotta tear half the truck apart to get to the damn alternator.
Yeah, they mount those engines sideways, don't they?
No, they mount them long ways. The
Oh,
hood
you
is the hood is only 2 foot wide.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the old Econolines. They had a little larger hood area.
Joe, I'm guessing it's the solenoid, which is a whole lot simpler than just everything else you talked about, but you still got to pull the starter off to change the solenoid, which is still an awful lot of work with the teeny tiny workspace.
Oh, starter's easy. Starter's on the underside.
Yeah, it drops right out the bottom. Yeah, and the solenoid's right on top of that. So you drop the starter. You can swap a new solenoid in there, and you're good to go if that's the problem.
Well, I'll just
Otherwise,
starter, take it to O'Reilly's and have them test it.
mhm.
Of
Good
course,
night, Keisha.
good night, Keisha.
Good night,
Not Keisha.
Keisha.
Hey, John B.
And
Pike. I'm
hey, John.
sorry about that. Oh, and
Well, Joe Dog, do you got an AutoZone around you? Can they check
I
solenoids?
got an AutoZone, but we call them the Twilight Zone down here.
Oh,
You take it in, you never see your car
or
again.
or Advanced Auto or something.
Yeah,
O'Reilly's.
I like O'Reilly's, but I've
Yeah.
learned about O'Reilly's. Anything you take to O'Reilly's is bad.
Oh,
Whether it be John, you're muted.
We have an Advance down here in Ringgold that actually pretty good about that.
Mm.
You take your stuff in, they're like, I took a motorcycle battery down there, and they were like, "Oh, it's good."
Yeah, the O'Reilly's. Yeah, I mean, you can buy a starter at Advance and take it to O'Reilly's to test, and it's bad.
well, that's where you say, "Let me look at it.
No,
Let me
that's
see how you're checking it and see
that's
where
when you
that's
say,
going."
I'm going to go to Advance and buy a new one.
Mhm.
Yeah, Joe, I need a truck. If you're going to have to sell that one, let me know.
What, the big yellow truck?
I don't need the big yellow truck, but any truck in a storm.
I'll put it to you this way: when that truck goes up for sale, that's a hint.
I don't want to appear to be opaque, but
I'll include a grill and a sound system and some other stuff.
I just need something to haul stuff in. I don't need a hotel cookery.
He's looking to find a future potential investor in a property he's
And an intellectual property.
Well,
That there's also intellectual property that goes with the truck too.
I ain't buying a damn surfboard in Arizona, okay? I was just going to help you out and take the truck off your hands, but no, if you're going to get that way about it,
No, I don't. I don't want to sell it. I don't.
I
Want
know you don't, because it's a really decent piece of work there. Not to mention a real piece of work, but
not to mention he'd have trouble finding another one.
Yeah. No, I won't buy another one at that price.
or any price.
Oh,
I saw a truck hauling something today because of Memorial Day weekend, and I looked at it and I thought, "Oh God, I want this!" And it was an Airflow camper trailer. It had to be 25 foot long. It was a monster. It was so beautiful, and it still maintained the older Airflow look as opposed to
well,
the ones they're mass producing now.
Airflow. You're talking about
Airstreams?
Airstream?
Airstream, I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to tell you the smallest Airstream was 25 foot long. So if it was a double axle, it was past 30 feet.
I've seen some on American Pickers, though, that were smaller than that. I'm sure they were an Airstream. Pretty sure.
No, smallest. The smallest of those were 25-footers. I think Shastas were 18.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Get a you find a 60s model Shasta in good shape.
It's worth rebuilding.
It's worth some money.
Hmm.
Dan, let's put it to you this way: you could buy 2 of the new ones.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Um, I was watching one of my canal boat videos this morning.
Again?
Yes, every freaking day. I'm addicted. There was one. I mean, this was one. This was a video that just came out this morning, so it's not like it was.
Oh, so it's not
on
a
a-
old again. It's
Ooh,
new again.
No, no. And they went through one town. I'm not going to name the damn town. Um, and there was a shell of one of the boats. I mean, we're talking 10,000, 20,000, $30,000 worth of boat. It had caught fire and burned out the entire interior. But
Mm.
this was today and it was still floating. And I'm going, oh, I wonder what they want for the shell. Because being the old farm boy that I am, it would be, if not child's play, then, kindergarten work to redo the entire interior and the wiring and everything else, as long as the engine was not burned up.
Hey,
But
Dan.
it's still, how do I get that from England to Lake Hartwell?
A few decades back, they got rid of all the phone booths in London.
Hmm.
Traditional red phone booths, right?
Yep, there's one across from the taco stand on Millage Avenue in Athens.
And there's this graveyard somewhere outside London where they've got them all out there, old junkyard full of them. Right?
Hmm.
You buy the shell of the boat and get you a whole bunch of those phone booths and use the phone booths as the superstructure on the boat.
No, 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 that don't work. That don't work.
I just looked it up, and Airstream does make a 16-footer, or actually, right now for the brand new models, they're only making 16 and 20s. But this is why I don't like the new ones. They don't look.
Count.
Yeah, it's like a flat roof. It's like that defeats the purpose.
It's not the
Now,
teardrop shape that you like.
Well, and the interiors in that are really nice. There's a lot of stainless steel on the interior and that, but yeah, the outside, I don't care for them.
I just looked up something at Bees. Stephanie, do you like catfish?
I do. There are other things I like better, but catfish is okay.
On Fridays, it's all you can eat catfish.
Wait a minute, it's Bees. Everything's all you can eat.
Yeah.
All who can eat.
Thursday.
Bees grows their own vegetables. That's one of the.
No, they don't grow their own vegetables either. They
Wait a minute. Oh, I was thinking about
Farm to Fork.
Yeah, farm.
No, I think it was called James. They're the ones I was thinking of that grow their own vegetables.
No, Bees has been there 72 years.
Yeah. This was another place my uncle.
They ought to know what they're doing by now.
Oh yeah, they cook about 500 pounds of pinto beans a day. I can't wait to get there.
Well, hopefully they've changed the grease in the deep fryer at least
They got
once.
They got these big round tables, Lazy Susan in the middle, and all the foods are in bowls, serving bowls around Lazy Susan. And when Joe goes there, the Lazy Susans will move without putting your hands on them.
All I can say is you better be quick with dish dish out on your plate, because you can be, you know, you'll dish out some macaroni on the plate, say something to somebody.
And the macaroni plate's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you're just holding a spoon.
And then somebody else, who's got the spoon of the
Spoon for the
macaroni?
macaroni.
It's over here. And all of a sudden you'll see it spin back and macaroni show up. All right. No, seriously, Stephanie, that's
No, you've got me. I'm sitting here going, doggone it, now I'm hungry.
I am too.
I would be if I hadn't picked up pizza before I came back home.
Oh, and Thursdays is all you can eat ribs.
Oh, now you're getting close. Now you're getting close.
Their ribs are okay, but they don't. I guess they don't smoke them enough for my taste. But
I sweet
They're
corn.
so hard to roll.
Yeah. John, I posted something in the messenger. I drew something today for Memorial Day, one of my sketches. I figured you would like it, probably as much as anybody,
that's nice. Yeah.
but I still can't pull things up from
you
this
need to figure
tablet.
that out, youngin.
I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to split the screen on the tablet. That's the only. I think that's what's keeping me from being able to share it. But anyway, but I will actually. You guys are, and everybody watching is getting a sneak peek at my new sketch for Memorial Day. But I'll post that Monday on my page and the artwork page, and I'll do a little Facebook story and that, put some music to it or whatever, just so that people are reminded that Memorial Day is about more than just cookouts.
Oh yeah.
I think I just figured out how to share something.
Well, good.
Really.
Give it a shot.
Shoot it. I mean, give it a shot.
Hey, this is a good test bed.
Yeah, there's a share icon right next to Leave Studio.
Yeah, and I tried that before, Chris.
Really?
It may be hard to do on
slides or video file is what it says.
First thing you got to do is you got to bring up the screen with what you want to share. You got to have some screen with an image on it or whatever. Video, image,
Chrome
text.
tab,
Well,
whatever.
When I
Okay.
tap it, John, the share icon, it pops up a little box that says slides or video file.
You know, down at the bottom of it. There. Hey,
Look at
somebody's
this.
Hey. Yeah, there
Hey.
you go. She's got it.
Now, here's the hard part, Stephanie.
Okay.
You got to leave this page and you go back over to the page you brought up with the picture on it, and that's where you have to control it from.
Now,
Oh yeah, you can zoom in or scroll up and down or whatever.
no, that ain't it. Hold on. Yeah, hold on a second. Let's drop Stephanie down.
Do what? No, this is my talk. So that was handy. That was where I was pulling some of the imagery from earlier, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. But if I click over to see what y'all are seeing, then it goes to seeing y'all instead of this. So let's try stop. Did it not stop? Guys?
Stop. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. What did I do okay?
Yeah, you did good.
That was
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Okay. My first effort.
Hey,
You,
Nicely done.
welcome
Thank you.
to a wider universe.
Yes.
Not taller?
I'm just fortunate. Well, in my case, it's definitely wider. I'm not getting any taller. I almost clicked leave studio.
It's because
instead
you
of
slouch too much. You got to stop slouching.
Hey, Stephanie, you will not be a real StreamYard user until you click Leave Studio in the middle of a show about 3 times.
Okay.
Oh,
Better yet,
or in broadcast when you're really just wanting to get to the banners or the brand.
Of course,
Yeah.
that's hard to do because you got to click in broadcast twice. There's an in broadcast. Are you sure?
no.
Some of us are really
Okay.
talented when it comes to making
I'm
mistakes.
I'm prone to fat fingering stuff if I'm not really careful, and then it's kind of like, what did it just do, and why did it do that? So, okay, I'm pleased with myself.
We're
It's been a
pleased with
good
you
day.
too.
It's been a good day.
I'm glad somebody had one.
Well, I spent a good part of the afternoon. I had a friend come over, and my back's been messed up for several weeks, so I haven't been able to to actually get the trash together to take out. And so she helped me do that, and then she helped me get some stuff organized and stored, and generally we started the decluttering process. So
Hmm.
it went well. There's a lot more to go, but it went well, and I was already pleased about that. And now it's like, hey, I know how to share stuff on here now. Yes.
Hey.
I'm not chuckling at you, Stephanie. I saw John Scarboroug's post about top 5 Soviet leaders ranked by their eyebrows.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Number 1, Leonid Brezhnev. Number
Yeah.
2,
Number
there is
2,
no number 2 because
Leonard
nobody is ever
Brezhnev.
going to top Leonid
Yeah.
Brezhnev.
Yeah.
And
Somebody
I thought,
needed to sit that man down with an eyebrow comb and some scissors.
I'm
Oh,
guessing
you
that
want to do it
Klingon
the
eyebrows are not out of the equation here.
He was
you want to do
actually,
it the painless way.
I'm dating myself, but he was actually the first Soviet leader I ever saw on television.
Yeah, me too, I guess. Now that you mention it.
Hmm.
He was the one I grew up with as a kid. I remember seeing him, on the evening news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing all of the Nikita Khrushchev stuff.
Yep.
Well, I heard about the Khrushchev stuff, but he was the one I saw with the military uniform and all
Oh,
those
wow.
ribbons and badges on them.
And Hart,
Time passes swiftly here.
I don't remember Khrushchev wearing a military uniform.
No, I'm not talking about Khrushchev.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Brezhnev. I don't remember Brezhnev ever wearing a military uniform.
I
I
seen
thought he
him
always
one
wore those
time.
black suits with the Russian flag on it, or communist
This
flag.
was
I've seen him.
NBC Nightly News back when they had 2 anchors.
And Brezhnev was always the stoic, pissed off
Yeah.
looking guy.
Looked like somebody had bought a Disney animatronic at a fire sale.
Yeah, and from what I understand, a lot of his legacy and any statues of his were being removed and tore down, and there was somewhere I read excerpt from his diary. He had one of the most lonely, boring lives of any major leader of any country around.
Then we need to have a statue of him then.
To
Really?
remind people what not to do.
Well,
Well, he was Putin.
When they tear him down, they won't.
Putin was his boy. That's why he's doing what. Oh, nose is itching. I'll be back.
Oh,
the pizza guy's showing up again with the second order.
yeah.
Well,
Ah,
I got
the
a.
funny
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
the funny thing is, Khrushchev was in power for a good long while. And then when he came to power, he was in power for not quite as long as Khrushchev, but a little while. And after he died, they had I know Andropov died, and there was
Gorbachev.
another one. No, it was before Gorbachev. There was another one before Gorbachev. He died soon after Chernenko, I think. was after Andropov, and then Gorbachev came in. He was there for a relatively long period, and then, of course, the fall of the Soviet Union, and then you had the succession of leaders afterwards, starting with Yeltsin, if I'm not
Who's
mistaken.
this guy? Alexei Kosygin. He was the one from 64 to 80. I do not remember.
Who will be after Putin?
Good question.
Well, the problem is he is not a premier. He is a president. So.
Right. Well,
for life.
But
No,
the problem is,
however long that may be.
yeah.
he survived a coup, attempted assassination, and I imagine there's going to be a purge.
Hey,
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
he
Huh?
Putin keeps getting reelected every time, damn near unanimously.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of what happened in the Soviet Union too, really.
voting at gunpoint.
Yeah.
You mean they have Dominion voting machines too?
It's kind of like Miss Universe. It's kind of really suspicious that these girls from Earth keep winning every damn time.
Yeah.
Before we get too close to the end, I was going to see if you wanted to hear about our birthday boy today.
Whose birthday is it?
Of course, he's dead, but
That never stopped anybody.
well, of course not. They just keep on going. But the man who created James Bond, novelist Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming, yes.
He was born in London, England, 1908. Yes, folks, I'm reading this. It's about 3 paragraphs, but it's very interesting. He wanted to be a diplomat, but he failed the Foreign Office examination and just decided to go into journalism. So he ended up working for Reuters news service in London, Moscow, and Berlin. And then during WW2, he served as an assistant to British Director of Naval Intelligence. After the war, he bought a house in Jamaica where he spent his time fishing, gambling, and bird watching, and probably all in that order. But he started to get bored, so he tried to try writing a novel about a secret agent, and he named the agent James Bond after the author of a birdwatching book. In case you didn't know, I guess, and I didn't. Fleming said Bond is the feverish dreams of the author of what he might have been. Bang, 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 kiss, kiss, that sort of stuff. It's what you would expect of an adolescent mind, which I happen to possess. So the first Bond novel, Casino Royale, sold about 7,000 copies. Fleming followed it up with 4 more, sold less and less well. Critics said he was good about writing about places, but that was about it. And Fleming had a newborn son at home, and he was disappointed that these books wasn't making any money to help support the family. So for his next Bond story, he wrote the book specifically for the movies. He filled it with more psychopaths and beautiful women than usual, and no one in the movie industry was interested at the time. But the novel From Russia with Love, 1957, became a huge international bestseller. So, and
he also wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Mm-hmm.
He did?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yep.
That was
Hey,
Ian Fleming.
everybody can branch out.
And Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was filmed just after a Bond movie.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Okay.
by one of the Bond producers and directors.
Cubby Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
And Ian Fleming wanted him to do the movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
This, despite the best efforts of some of the actors, it was a good movie.
Dan,
Yeah.
I answered your question about Miss Universe in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm not. Nope, nope. Ain't touching that. This is not the green room. Um.
Uh,
Ah.
John, I'm sort of scrolling back through Stupid O'Clock, and I
Yeah.
see where you posted the tornado at Chickamauga Dam.
Which one? I posted 3 of them.
Ow.
I just see the.
Yeah. And I watched all of them.
Oh, okay.
There's one that shows the approach coming up the river. You see it hitting the railroad bridge,
Oh, okay.
crossing in front of the canal there, or the lock. The second one shows the trailers getting pushed over into the creek.
Yeah.
And then the third one shows it going up over Big Ridge, knocking out the power lines.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I
Was
just-
anybody in those trailers
No,
at the time? Okay.
they
They
shut
hit
the
late,
trucks
it hit
down.
late in the afternoon, and actually, I think they had a work stoppage because of funding.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They,
That thing's been on again. They fund it the same way they fund NASA.
Gotcha.
and NASA gets priority over the lock.
Yeah.
Which ain't saying much.
Well, the old lock hasn't actually broken yet.
Yet.
So yeah, it's real. It's bad shape.
Yeah.
But,
They. Well, they gave the old lock until 2023 to before they'll have to close and permanently weld the lock shut.
Oh my.
and probably fill it with concrete.
So, yeah, they are up against the 8 ball right now.
And it ain't the contractor's fault.
Well-
It ain't the Corps of Engineers' fault. It's Congress not pushing the money the way they need to.
Oh well, I let's just say I know someone. This rabbit guy that is sort of found under a sofa every now and then. Is that giving you any hints, Chris?
I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but like I said, if I hadn't had such a crummy day, I'd have probably picked up on it.
He is one of the inspectors.
Mm.
They actually had to jackhammer out 500 yards of concrete because it was the wrong
Because it was the
Oops.
wrong what?
compression, the wrong type of concrete.
Wrong mixture.
Yeah. Supposed to have a certain PSI, and it was half what it was supposed to be.
I told them that
Oh,
we're never
man.
going to get away with using cornflakes.
So yeah, they 500 yards of concrete.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I
He
mean,
says I-
500 miles. But,
Add more gravel.
Let's put it this way: Joe could have had lakefront property.
All right. Well, glad you stopped by to say hi, Kerry.
hey, Kerry,
Thanks for stopping
Yeah.
in.
I popped him in the link for
Oh,
Last Man Standing, and
He's streaming.
yep.
Got his own thing going.
Hey, everybody has a right to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your
Especially
thing.
if they-
Do what you want to do.
hey,
I actually.
Especially if they're having fun with it. Yeah.
hey, Dan,
Yeah,
you got share screen.
Yeah. It's time.
I do.
Yeah. We could raid Kiri's show and harass him on Twitch.
You could. I couldn't because I'm a nice guy.
Oh, come on, man. Y'all are no fun. You won't.
It's not that you couldn't, Dan. It's you wouldn't.
Exactly.
I want to. I want to raid Comic Book Spectrum one night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're just waiting for a certain person to nod off again. Like I'm thinking of suing him for copyright infringement. That's my gig.
Yeah. All right, hit it,
Well,
John.
I read an article that was basically saying
You read an article that what?
was basically saying the big dams out west are having issues holding up, and they're going to need some major work before too long.
Well, Lake Mead. They get started on that one because Lake Mead is.
Ain't no water to hold back.
Yeah, there ain't no
Now
water.
would be a really good time to
It
fix
really
that
is.
one.
It's drought season. Yep.
That
That's
is the surest way to get that reservoir to fill up.
Start construction.
Start
tearing
working
down
on
the
it.
dam and putting in a new one. Sure
Mhm.
enough, they'll get more rain than they've seen in the last 50 years.
Yep, we've got lots of well, I wouldn't say drought condition because we've had a lot of rain here lately, but
Yeah,
it's one of those it's one of those points in time to where it's not as much as it should be,
yeah.
but it's not disaster level dry either.
Yeah.
So
Well, the funny thing about Lake Mead is they're finding these 55-gallon drums with bodies in them.
And a lot of very old mobsters are going, oops.
Hey, real quick before the show's over,
the
there
ones
was
that aren't in the barrels, you mean? Yeah.
there was national report about two people drowning in some lake down in Georgia, and there's supposedly a third person that they're still looking for, which they thought, why are they talking about that? Well, it's Memorial Day weekend, so you got to talk about the first fatality. But apparently there were people out on boats. I can't remember where in Georgia it was or the name of the lake, but
There's a lot of lakes in Georgia.
I thought you fellers down south. Well, it was national news, which is another scratch your head thing, other than the fact that everything's national these days. But
Well,
Most
it could be
likely,
Altoona. It could be Lake Lanier. It could be Hartwell. It could be
most likely it was either
Blackshear.
Hartwell or Lanier, because those are the most um, most used lakes.
There it is. Hang on a second. I
Altoona's a
found the
really big
story.
one. But
Yeah,
Uh,
Blackshear's
2 dead,
got a lot
3
of
missing
stuff.
after boats collide on Georgia River.
yeah, that
river.
river. Oh, okay.
Wilmington River.
Wilmington River near
Mm.
Savannah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
Oh, okay. That's way south of me.
yeah, that's near
That's
Savannah.
that's ocean fishermen basically.
Mm.
What it looks like. The boats look like the ones you see the ocean fishermen using to go out catch
Well,
shark nuclear weapons.
Actually, I think the Wilmington River's near Cockspur Island, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't have a firm grasp of geography down in Savannah way, so.
So they mentioned on ABC News when I first heard this story earlier today, they said, still investigating any wrongdoing.
Yeah. But it's a boat collision. Chances are somebody was drinking. So.
Well, yeah. And
Yep.
And
Uh,
if it's a collision, it's just like a car crash. Somebody didn't yield the right of way or something. So,
Yeah, they don't call them accidents anymore. They call them crashes because an accident can be, can't be prevented.
Yeah,
Crash.
a tree limb falls off and hits your car. That's an accident.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, concerning Lake Mead, they've restricted the flow of water out of it because of the mega drought that's going on out west.
Hmm.
They're
Well,
trying to maintain enough water so when they need to generate electricity, they'll have enough to do it, but they're also trying to conserve it for drinking purposes and all.
And Stephanie
And
had
the
something to
and
say.
the Mexican government is already complaining about the Colorado River starting to run, or I think it's Colorado, yeah, Colorado River running
Yeah.
dry down at the other
It's
end.
been running dry,
Yeah.
but that's
And
because you have people in California and Southern California that think they need to water their lawns every day.
All right, we're almost out of time. Stephanie had something to say.
well, I mean, geologically speaking, that whole region is and has always been desert. It was settled during one of the brief, geologically speaking, brief wet periods in its history, and now it is reverting back to its norms.
Yeah.
This is not a drought. This is the norm for the area.
Yeah.
Norm. Oh, sorry.
I was thinking the same thing.
so the next time you're driving past Lake Mead,
What was
stop,
that?
get out, walk over to the edge of the river, and pee. This public service announcement comes to you from Stupid O'Clock.
Ugh.
Well,
Hey.
actually, you need to, do
Use a
that.
coffee filter.
Use that. Use that. You need to do that up in the mountains of Colorado. All right, Chris is having issues, but it is time for all of us to say good night, everybody.
All right,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Vaya con Dios, amigos.
See you on the other side.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.